In our church, we have a separate mixer and a separate mix for online. We try to make it as realistic as possible.
What if I told you that you don't need a separate mixer to get a new broadcast mix? What if I told you that you just need one mixer? In fact, literally any type of mixer that can do multi-track recording to get not just an extra mix, but up to 5 unique mixes. And all of this can be done without using extra cables, extra speakers, extra amplifiers, none of those extras that you usually suspect. And it's all done on a software level using NDI. This was a live setup where we used NDI for our broadcast mix. It was a worship service in our church and we had an amazing house mix, but we needed a separate mix for our audience online. So we are using our live streaming desktop to receive all active channels from the mixer through USB 2.0 aka printer cable. We then used Reaper and the NDI Outputs VST plugin on each track to send all the active mixer channels to the local network to be received by another computer for a separate broadcast mix, and then send it back to the same desktop. Okay, just track with me. Now remember, none of the volume levels or effects from the mixer is affecting the signals we are receiving from Reaper. So our in-house music producer, E9, who is an apostle by the day and a music producer by night, was so delighted to mix all the track just like he were mixing a proper song, and he was using the best of the best plugins from FabFilter, Wave Audio to give the audience a truly remarkable experience. Now, all of this with no extra mixer, no extra cable, no extra monitors or amps or speakers, just NDI and a very skillful producer. The output of this mix was then sent back to the local network, and the live streaming desktop received it using NDI for OBS plugin, and then was used as a sound source for our video feed for the live audience. 2 entirely separate mix, 2 different audio engineers, 2 computers, and 1 mixer. Now, to get the outputs that we got on this setup, we would have spent at least $1,500 at least if we're going to use the traditional way of a separate mixer. So if you're a church or a media house and for some reason you might have need to do a separate mix for probably your live broadcast or just another auditorium as the case is, this will definitely blow your mind. This is going to be a very geeky video, so I expect that you grab a seat, grab a drink if needed, and let's get on the ride. In this YouTube video, we are going to start with installing NDI tools on your computer and understanding how the NDI Audio Direct works on your computer. We are also going to be introducing the mixers that you can use just to maneuver basic routing techniques within the mixer, how you can get all your tracks from the mixer into your computer and from there start broadcasting your signals. Yes, I use the word broadcast, which means that multiple devices can even catch the signals that come out from your mixer. All of this we're going to get into in this video. Now, to learn the complete technical maneuver of just NDI and how it can be applied for video, audio engineering, just the entire shebang, please check out our full course on mastering NDI for audio and video production in the description below. So thanks to Digit Sound, who are sponsoring this video for today. They are giving out a whopping 80% discount to the first 20 people who is going to use this coupon code to purchase the master course below. Ensure that you grab it really quickly because the price is going to go back up once those 20 seats are filled up. Digit Sound is your one-stop shop for everything sound, period. From live sound equipment rental, procurement, installation, even production, and the best of them all, live streaming services. Digit has everything covered. You can follow them on all social media at Digit Sound for more details. So in front of me is a Midas M32R board. Thanks to DigitSound, they were generous enough to give us this bad boy here for us to just enable this video. What you see here is pretty much the default setting, right? So we just added one keyboard, so I'm increasing the keyboard volume. So yeah, the first channel is dedicated for a microphone. Here's the microphone. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Yeah. How can we get multiple signals into your system and have multiple mix? So the normal case scenario is that you're going to have, like, say, your kick here, your snare here, your hi-hats here. You're going to have your whole, you know, the entire drum configuration. Then you're going to have your instrumental configuration, and then you go to your, you know, your vocals, and it keeps going on like that. Pretty much what you have is this will be your mix for the house. But what if you want to have another mix that is even pre-fader? So what that means is that whether I increase this to the loudest or to the lowest, it does not affect my signal that is coming from that track. So whether I have all of this down or even muted, as the case is, you are not going to have it affect the second feed, which most likely you want a broadcast engineer to work on it. And that's pretty much what we are going to experiment. So we have the first channel and the second channel, which is just going to serve as our microphone and the keyboard. And that's what we are going to use now. One of the first things we need to check is if we have all our signals coming into the system. And the best way to check it is to use a DAW. What I would recommend is you can use Cakewalk, you can use Reaper. These are free DAWs out there. I mean, for seasoned engineers, you have like Fruity Loops, Logic, Audacity, or what is it called?
Adobe Audition also works.
Adobe Audition, and there's one, Cubase, Studio One. There's one I'm still missing. I have to find you. Oh god, that's like the most expensive DAW. It starts from A. Gosh, Ableton. Yes, gotcha. But I kind of like free, so I'm using Reaper. Right, there's Cakewalk, there's Reaper, but I found Reaper to be like the most lightweight for this. So we're just going to launch up Reaper right here. This is kind of how it looks like. You can go to their website, pretty much Google it and just download it. Right down here in Reaper, you want to go to this place where you find your Reaper preferences, and you're going to be greeted with what audio system you're going to be using. So you want to kind of pick ASIO. So ASIO driver is a very specific driver, especially when you do multi-track recording, right? So now it has automatically found the drivers. It's key to know that before you use any of these boards, right, you have to go to their website and pretty much download the specific drivers that is needed for that board. So I have already downloaded that on this system, and I'm just launching it here. So you will notice that it's saying enable inputs, and you're pretty much seeing 1-to-1, and it's ending at 2-in-2. So you want to increase that to the range that you want. So this board can take as high as 32. So I'm going to just pick the highest, and okay, right? Right click this side and include a new track. This track is going to represent each input track coming on this board. The easy way to do it is simply to hit this record button. If you have set your driver correctly, you should see this. You kind of want it in mono, not stereo, right? So this is where you now find it. So mono, right? I'm going to pretty much take the mic, turn it up. You can see that. So that's the signal pulling through. My audio is coming directly into the software. So I'm going to pretty much bring in another track, which is track 2. So if you can remember, I put the piano. So I'll just call this mic, and I'll call this piano. I'll capture it on P2. So the piano, which is on 2. Okay, yeah, so that's it. And this is the mic. So that can play. One of the things that you can immediately notice is that if I speak with this, you pretty much see the signal. It's coming up here, right? And the signal is also coming up on this system. If I increase the volume, that goes way louder. But if I drop the volume, drop it to the lowest, did you notice that it's still coming up on your Reaper or on your software? That's telling you that whatever you do on the fader does not affect what goes into Reaper. So you can raise it up again and it's coming up. You can kill it and it's out. Even if you take out the master volume, it doesn't do anything. Take out the master. So now that tells you something. It tells you that this is taken completely pre-fader. Now, be it that you mute here, you put an effect here, whatever you do here does not affect what goes into the software here. For people who are doing live broadcast mix, that puts a lot of possibilities in your hand because they don't want to be messed up by whatever is coming from this particular board, right? So it's like you're having a fresh mix, you know, for your own experiments and as the case is. So I'm going to show you how to broadcast this. So if you go here to mixer, the mixer is going to show under here. You can also make it that your mixer can, you know, use another screen if you want to. I think you just need to click dock mixer and that's pretty much it. But what you need to do is to come here, look for a particular plugin. Now, before we do that, I would like to install NDI on this system. NDI is already installed, but I'll just show you the process. So all you need to do is pretty much Google NDI tools, and it's going to take you to their website, which pretty much looks like this. And you want to go to tools here and download tools. Not SDK. SDK is not what you need. What you need is the tools. Then you go to the course suite here, and that is where you get what you need. So you would then download it if you're on Windows machine, if you're on Mac machine. Now, I think it's a good time to give a disclaimer that the NDI Audio Direct does not work on the Mac machine, at least not for now. You can receive signal, which means that if you're on the network with your Mac, you can receive, but you can't broadcast from your DAW at the moment. So once you click this, the Windows will start downloading, and the process is quite seamless. Just, you know, double click it. It's going to prompt you, and you just go through the process. It's very important that you don't install NDI while Reaper is open because it's going to have some form of error. So now you're greeted with NDI, yay, and this is pretty much what NDI looks like. NDI can work with lots of softwares, but what we are interested in is Audio Direct. So Audio Direct, you see here, once you click it, it doesn't pretty much do anything. It's just tell you that, oh, it has lodged some particular plugin in a particular folder. So that's pretty much all you need really. Just know that it's in that particular folder. Now you can open your Reaper. So I'm going to just test if our inputs are still working. It's working clearly. So what I need to do is to come in here, and if I hover my mouse above this green line, you're going to see FX, which just means effects. So you click it up and you come to all plugins and you type NDI. Now you're going to see outputs and inputs. Wow. So that's where the magic lies. Now you're going to click outputs, add, and it's going to ask you to name. So now I can name this microphone. Pretty much here you want to set how it's going to come out. Is it going to come out as stereo? It can even come out as a quad mix, but you kind of want to leave it as mono if you're coming from like a board like this for live sound setup. Then I would advise you put it on 0 dB. If you put it on 6, it means anything you put above 0 is going to sort of just add some gain to it before it sends it out into the network. So you want it to be as basic as possible, microphone, and you close it. You can drag and drop it without holding any special key or modifier. Then you click and you name this piano, and you're pretty much done. Yeah, you're done. So now this is broadcasting real time. like real time is broadcasting. How do I know that is broadcasting? So I will test it. So I have my iPad here and I have an NDI monitor on my iPad. So I'm just going to, pretty much record the screen and show you what happens. Now let's check it out on another device and see what happens. So voila. So you can see your microphone is here and test 1 2, test 1 2. Now if the keyboard is being played, you won't hear anything. So Israel, please, can you help me just play the keyboard? So you're not hearing anything, right? But on the screen, you can see that the keyboard is being played. Now let's change source. So give it a go. Awesome. Now, if I talk, you're not hearing it. That's because you have selected one channel. Now, what if you want to hear both of them? What do you do? I'm going to go here to the master and just pretty much do the same thing and bring an output. I'll call that outputs. Brilliant. Who would have thought about that? Only me. So I'm going to check here again, and you see it broadcasts instantly. Immediately you put the plugin in, it just works. So once Israel jams the keyboard and I use the microphone, you're supposed to hear both. So, like magic, right? Thank you. Sound like Israel Houston on the keyboard. Okay guys, so what you just witnessed now is all of this happened on a wireless network, right? Think about it when both of them are wired. Like the system is literally broadcasting this wirelessly into the router, and the router is broadcasting it wirelessly into my iPad, and you had the complete sound. It's not buffered in any sense. Now I'm going to do this same thing using another laptop and receive this sound into another multi-track, where you can then do exactly what we just did here, right? And broadcast it as a fresh mix. You might want to get to know more about NDI, the video part of its production, even extending into remote production, how somebody can be recording a feed from America or Alaska or even Russia, and you're receiving the feed remotely where you are, and producing a full-fledged high-fidelity audio with somebody that is not even in the same country with you. Now, all of this is made possible with NDI, even to the level of the video production, and that will be shown in the masterclass. If you really want to get this, ensure that you use the digit coupon code that is displayed on the screen. Don't dull, because the 26th is going to go very soon. And remember, if you loved this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more things that will help you optimize your workflow and work around complex concepts. Till next time, I remain your boy OVI. Grace and peace.